Next we'll be setting our inner perimeter line, which is the solid line here. And what we do is we measure 1 5/8 inch down and make a mark on our fabric, and then also 1 1/2 inches out from that outer seam on both the top and the sides. So on the side, we put a couple marks here. An 1.5 inches out from that outer seam. Make sure they're all correct. And that 1 5/8 is up from your stitch there. So 1 5/8, we make a mark in a few spots. 1, 2, 3, both on the top and the bottom. Those are approximate areas that we'll be using to guide our transparent ruler here in the general kind of situation, orientation, to kind of put us in the ballpark about where we need. So we're looking at the chalk lines on the side here, trying to line them up fairly well. They're often not going to be perfect. Of course, we don't want to align with the outer perimeter here because it's going to be uneven. But our main point of reference is to use the actual lines on the ruler and make sure that they're parallel. So here we have a line on our fabric, and then we have a line on the ruler. Same here, a line on the ruler. So we're making these lines. Here's a line from the fabric and this line on the ruler. So you want to make sure that you're not at an angle there. Try to average everything else. Average things out in terms of getting it close to those chalk marks, but really pay attention to how the ruler is lining up the lines on the ruler with the lines of your stitches. We want that border to be on a parallel grid with the edges of the border lined up with all your folds and stitches. And then from there, just take the white chalk and mark that outer perimeter. If you have two sides of the ruler that work, and then flip it around and then use the white lines to get your other two chalk lines. And here on the instruction, we see that the top to bottom is 6 7/16, and more or less it says in 10 1/2. So make sure when you're done, your distances between the top and bottom are 6 7/16, and then 10 1/2 in terms of that white square.